guys, so I'm going to be creating a thing for like to add to the outlet thing that I made. On top of Oliver's cage, I'm going to create like a tray so that we can set our coffee cups and stuff down, so that we're not ruining the top of that platform that we put on top of Oliver's cage. So what I did was I went to the dollar store and I got 2 of these cork board things. I'm going to figure out a shape that I want them, and then I'm going to cut them out, and then I'm going to glue them together, and I guess we'll see what that looks like. So I have this cutting board that I'm going to use for the shape of it. It fits pretty good. I'm going to draw around it, and then I am going to cut it. The reason I'm using cork is because when you put cold beverages on it, it will soak up the condensation, and then it won't ruin the wood that's underneath. That's the reason I wanted to do it this way. And this cutting board actually belongs in our kitchen, so this is what we had sitting there, but this belongs in our kitchen, and I like to use it in our kitchen, so that's where it's going to stay. So I painted the sides white here, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this yarn that I have and I'm going to kind of put it on the sides like this and glue it down so that it kind of just adds a cool texture to it. I'm not sure how we're going to do that yet, but Get my glue sticks ready. Get this warmed up. Of fabric here. They're both crushed velvet. It's just what I had laying around, and I'm going to cut 4 pieces that are going to be anywhere between 8 to 10 inches wide and 60 inches long. Once you have the 4 tubes cut, you want to fold them in half so that the outside material is facing the inside, and then you're going to sew along the seam, or along the open edges, to make a seam. Now I did it all the way around the bottom as well, so you will have one open end. I cut 4 pieces out of 2 different colors of fabric, but that's because I was making 2 different pillows. For one pillow, you only need 2 pieces of 60 inches long by 8 to 10 inches wide. So here I'm just taking a cardboard tube from toilet paper and putting it on the inside of what's going to be flipping to the outside. And basically you take the inside and flip it out so that you can stuff it. Flipping the inside out is probably the hardest part because your tube is really only like 4 inches wide. You can see I have a pillow that I'm pulling out of. This is just an old pillow that we had that we weren't using anymore, so I was just going to reuse the stuffing that was inside. So I pulled all the stuffing out and made it into smaller pieces so that I could stuff it into the tube. So you have to stuff both tubes, and I just have a wooden spoon there to help me push the stuffing through to the end, because when you were sewing, you sewed one of the ends closed, so you only have one open end, so you can't stuff from both ends. directions that I was following said that you needed 2 tubes that were separate in order to make one knot pillow. So this is my first attempt at trying to do that. For my second attempt, I realized that I needed to attach the 2 tubes, so I just sewed them together on the ends that I had to sew closed anyways. So you won't be able to see this once the pillow is made because of the way that the knot goes together. So if you are doing this, just create one long tube that is 120 inches, not 2 separate tubes of 60 inches. For my final attempt, I finally got the knot pillow in the right order of tying the knot, but you have to move, in order for it to work, you have to kind of make everything tight the way that as you go along, because it won't turn into a knot pillow if you don't. You won't have enough length. So you can see that I'm tightening it up and moving everything around just to make it a little bit easier. And then the second time around, after you do the first knot, the second time around, you just follow the same way that you did the first knot with the end pieces and just continue tightening it up so that you create the pillow. I will link below the details of how to tie the knot so that you don't have to go back and stop this video a bunch of times to figure it out.